That's what you said when you came back from playing it.
I went to play it last week at Namco, and a disclaimer first of all, what you're watching now is someone from Namco playing the game.
Because you weren't good enough.
Because I wasn't good enough, and yeah, that is the reason. But I wanted to tell you, Nathan,
I was going to say
five things that I learned from my brief hands-on. And the
I
first
wanted to
thing
mention
is,
your fairy mantle.
my what?
Your fairy mantle.
Oh, I see.
Sorry,
Well,
go on.
My first point is that like anything in the game can kill you. Look at this guy. Look at the size of his spear. I mean, we've killed him easily.
That was a habard.
A halberd.
Yes.
Is
I
that what
think
you
it's
tried to
pronounced
say?
habard, isn't it?
Habard? I don't know.
Maybe I'm
but it was a
thinking of
really
tabard.
big spear. I mean, look, just two regular guys. Look how much health they've taken off me.
I
Straight
love
away.
I love the shadows in this game. I am listening to you.
You
Your
just-
sword, that is a chopper.
That is a big sword. I'm going to talk about that later, but, you know, bang. That was 5 hits from just basic enemies. Basic enemies, and if you don't have your wits about you, you are
So
just toast.
Dark Souls 2,
And again-
still deadly. Still full of traps.
Yeah.
People hidden behind doorways.
And that guy is programmed, obviously, to just sit there behind that door until you come in.
I feel like if I was in a fantasy land, that would be my job.
Right, now you wait here.
Just
till the
behind the
hero
door.
comes through the door. As soon as he does, smack him in the back.
Good shield work.
Thank you.
Fine.
That wasn't me either.
No, I know. I'm
not
assuming none of
totally
these.
playing the game.
Wow, that looks awesome.
This is cool. I mean, you know, another thing as
Whoa.
well. So there's no.
I would be running at this point.
There is, yeah, that was my point. There is no shame in running. I
Right.
mean, this situation quickly gets out of hand because we decide to actually take these horrible, living, red-eyed statues on instead of running away. And look,
This
we've not
is
even started the fight
mental.
yet, and already we're nearly dead.
In what situation would you not have your massive sword out? I guess a corridor as he's about to. Ah.
Well, we will be talking about the massive sword in due course.
Okay.
But let's just see how this pans out. Make a prediction, Nath. Who do you think is
Okay,
going to
well,
win?
do you know he's
the
bottlenecked
knight,
it?
the knight or the 4 horrible statues?
Given how much.
I mean, to be fair, this is a really badly timed life gem. And that's what ends it.
Okay. I was thinking if he'd
died.
if he'd bottlenecked them and just and timed his attacks right.
Anyway, this is the second. We're talking about the massive sword now. It's not, you know.
So this is number 3. Point
this is
3.
not point 2.
Okay.
Deciding when to use your weapons is really, really crucial. Like, this massive sword looks great, but look how slow and unwieldy it is. You miss time one hit and you're just down.
The complexity of the combat is something to be. I mean,
But this guy, who's
even a
kinda
massive guy,
he's slow and lumbering.
he's literally a tortoise.
This is a tortoise with a club and armor. You know, that's a good time to use that massive sword.
Yeah, because he's
Okay.
slow
Yeah,
and you can dance around him.
yeah. But when you're against, you know, lots of nimble, quick enemies, like we're about to see here, just watch this fight pan out. Okay, massive sword comes out.
Right.
You're thinking full health. I'm just gonna smash everyone up here.
A bit of open space as well.
Yeah, definitely gonna win this fight. Okay. But it's quite hard to aim. With
Right.
a massive sword, you lunge wrong and you've missed, and
And you have
already
to jump and circle.
already this situation is looking bad.
You have to. Well, I mean that's 2 paws, and now there's another
Yeah.
guy.
I mean, this is a good swing there.
That's fine slash
But
work.
it's taken like
Now
a
there's
third.
another guy.
There's 4 guys.
Crowd
and
control here.
You've got a tiny, well, a massive sword, but
He needs to fight
It's-
like I did when I was a kid. Wow, like when I was a kid, like just voom. I think I used to call it the voom, just slashing a sword around.
and it's over.
Well, that was poor.
That was poor, wasn't it? But there is a thing you can do, which I think is really cool, and this is point number 3. Getting behind an enemy allows you to do a really awesome kind of back attack style move, which absolutely destroys most
Yeah,
enemies.
yeah,
As
it's like a huge tactic
yeah,
in Dark
we'll
Souls.
demonstrate here. Bang.
In
Gets
your
behind,
face.
then he's down, and then you can really skillfully execute them like that. So, like that. Third time, like that.
Are you in
Bang.
charge at this point, Rob? Is this you on the
No,
controls?
none of this is me at the controls.
Okay, but you were saying here
I'm
you
keen
played
to
the game.
stress.
Okay, cool. So what point are we on now? So we've had everything
We've had-
kills you.
Everything can kill you. You've got to really, really think about what weapons you use in what situations.
Yep.
And there are different classes you can use as well, which we'll get onto later. And also, if you can, try and, you know, don't just take an enemy head on.
Strafe.
Try and get behind him.
Which is
Dodge his
difficult because
attacks.
this is basically a dungeon
Quite an
crawler.
enclosed
So
space,
there's
yeah. I mean, you
dungeons
get behind
are-
an enemy, they're pretty much dead straight away, and you've instantly incapacitated them.
I
and then
love Dark
you
Souls.
time it right, and bang.
It's really hard to get to the heart of why Dark Souls is so complex and sophisticated and brilliant in 5 things, Rob. But I feel like you're doing a good job.
Well, it's, you know, a game that requires huge perseverance,
Patience.
and investment.
It does. You just
And-
have to read a little bit.
Yeah.
Be careful out there.
And there are times when you can get... I mean, this is point 4.
The sword is now blue.
Point 4 is just Mirror Knight.
Right, okay.
That's my point 4. Just look at this guy. I mean, that amount of health in one hit is just...
Oh my god.
I mean, we had 2 guys from Namco and me, and we were alternating, taking it in turns to fight this guy. And it must have been 30 goes we had. 30 cracks at him. He does this thing where he summons like a mirror version of you. That's why it's
That
called
would
the
make
Mirror
sense.
Knight.
Ah!
Still alive.
That jab.
Amazingly.
I'd like to have seen you do it from there.
Some of his attacks are, you know, really vicious.
I want to get a handle on it. So what are his attacks? I mean, there is
That
this.
horrible lightning swipe, which
That took off even more
You
that
just
time.
can't get hit by it. You just cannot get hit by
How
it.
do you dodge it? Just you have to go underneath it.
Yeah, and you've got to maybe try and
Time
get
it.
close to him. That wasn't how you
Right.
dodge it.
Okay. Look how full his bar is.
I know.
And proudly purple.
He does this thing here where this is when he's summoning the mirror reflection of
So
you.
so
During
presumably
then-
don't stand there.
During that time, he's invulnerable.
Oh,
the
okay,
time
because I
where
was
he's-
wondering in that first.
The time where he's just standing still, you think, oh, that's the window. Surely that's the window. No.
No, it's not. And that pillar
And
is
he
now.
knocks the pillars down,
Pillar is
and
dust.
now you've got another little guy you've got to deal with as well. And it's just all kinds of, you know, bad.
Are you going to show us
I will, yeah.
any kind of victory?
Yes.
Okay,
We're
good.
getting there. But, you know, just to ram home how difficult this game can
And
be.
not just the Mirror Knight. I mean, all bosses have their
Yeah.
the very. I mean, probably most of the people who are watching this video, or a large percentage of them, will have played the original Dark Souls. And you are then first, like in the first kind of half an hour, you're presented with a boss who seems, on first kind of glimpse, just completely indestructible.
The Taurus Demon.
Mm.
I remember the Taurus Demon being the first boss. I was like, man, how... I mean, now, the Taurus Demon is like, of course, the Taurus Demon's easy.
Everything's easy when you know how.
You know how to beat him. But, I mean, there's no kind of secret to beating this guy. You just have to be
Good.
dexterous, patient, and not get hit by him.
Well, it was quite sprightly of him. Move.
I mean, that's not a good dodge. The best window I found was just after he summoned the guy. Look there.
That is a nice hit.
You take a little bit away from him. That's almost a third of his health gone there.
I really like his shield. I like his
Yeah.
whole get-up. I like his whole thing that he's got going on. The mirror thing.
You know what? I hate him. On reflection, I hate him. Did you get my amazing joke?
On
Anyway,
reflection, that was good.
This
Sorry.
is the
So this-
this is the Templar Knight. If you notice, we're a different class now.
More nimble.
Slightly more nimble. He's like a mixture of melee and also magic. But he's got really, really good kind of ranged staff pole thing.
Ow, he got caught there though.
Maybe another habard, whoever you pronounce it.
I think you're probably right.
But here we go. I think this is
Maybe it's a
victory
pole
here.
axe.
Good dodging. Look at that dodging. Bang.
That's a nice move.
And somehow we've dodged that as well, which is
I
quite incredible.
love the light.
I know the lighting and the rain, and this is great. I mean,
As a kid who grew up watching Nightmare and wishing that he lived in a fighting fantasy novel, this is big.
and here we go. One final dodge.
I could still lose it from this point.
Bang.
Nice work.
We were really happy, as you can
The
probably
mirror,
tell. By
and
the,
if that seemed arduous, let me tell you that lots of press have tried to do that, and I don't think anyone has successfully
I think
seen
some
it
people.
recorded.
I mean, talking
Yeah.
of classes, we talked about the Templar Knight. This is the
Absolutely.
Sorcerer.
So what's this? Point 4?
This is point 5.
Oh,
Point 4 is Mirror Knight.
sorry.
Point 5 is obviously you can choose different classes now, depending on how you want to play the game. The Sorcerer, he's got a little knife that's really good for getting close like that, but his main, weapon
So
is ranged spells.
So point 5 is choose your class
choose
according to
your
how
class
you want
according
to.
how you want to play it. I don't like playing as the Sorcerer.
I like his stick though. He looks cool.
It's good if you've got some decent spells. I mean,
Anyone who gives me a branch and I can like whack people with it. Check this out.
yeah, it's good for ranged combat, but you're never going to only be in ranged combat. You're always going to find... I mean, look at the Templar Knight. Watch what he does to people from behind. Bang!
Okay,
He
that was
absolutely
pretty,
messes them
that
up.
was cool.
The
And his
Templar Knight
fairy mantle is
Is
massive.
my favourite. Just look how cool he looks. Look how cool
Yeah, okay.
he
He
is
does look
pretty
pretty
awesome.
good.
And he's also got magic as well, as I was
Seriously, the
saying.
light in
So he's
this
got
game.
magic, and he's also got a really cool...
On my
habit.
Mega Drive, when back in the day, I used to play a game called The Immortal, which was a permadeath dungeon crawler where it was only about 5 levels, but it was just really unfair, and there were like you just fall through the floor and die. This is like the ancestor of that game. I used to love The Immortal.
Turtle beats Templar Knight, though, as we're about to see.
Ouch.
Yeah,
Man.
and the last class is the nimble dual swordsman. Now this guy doesn't have as much endurance, but he is
Presumably can't hold a
quick,
shield either.
and he's got really good offensive abilities as
Okay,
well.
mash.
Because he's got 2 swords.
That would work. Ooh, be careful.
Yeah.
I like his cloak as well.
I think this might actually be me controlling it at this point, which is why it's even worse than normal.
Hey, but you're
Yeah.
behind him.
Getting
You've got him up
behind,
against a pillar,
smash.
and you've got 2
It's good,
swords
isn't it?
in him at various places. Good work.
So yeah, I mean, this is a tiny bit of the game. I don't even know where this is in the game, whether it's right at the beginning.
They kind of hopped you into a position
Yeah.
halfway through, or at a point.
And he doesn't
Gosh.
fare well against the turtle guy either.
Man alive.
There you go. There are 5 quick points to Dark Souls 2. It's looking awesome. I
Yeah.
mean, it feels very familiar. It feels quite a lot like the first one. It looks a lot prettier. It feels like your combat is a lot more varied this time as well. You've got a lot more options.
You're telling me this is a reason to stop playing Resogun for 5 minutes?
Maybe, yes.
Interesting, Rob. Interesting. No, I am very excited as well, and I believe that we're going to be playing. Well, we're going to be speaking to the guys from Software very soon.
What?
So watch out for that on the channel.
Yes, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss that.